Good evening and welcome to the MetroHartford Alliance's 2015 annual celebration. The mission of the Alliance is to compete aggressively and successfully for jobs, capital, and talent. Please welcome to the stage Bonnie Malley, Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of the Phoenix Companies and the Chair of the MetroHartford Alliance. And stage lights up, go.
So, right before I get started, I'm going to make everybody really nervous. I'm starting off script, which is nothing new for me. The first thing I want to say is I'm not wearing the hat. And there's two things that I have in my contract as chair. The first is that I will not wear hats, and the second is that I will not shovel dirt. And it looks like it's going to be a long night. So the first thing I got to do is find somewhere for the hat, but Arnold just left. So there he is. There, no hat. The next thing that I'm saying off script is I absolutely know why you're here, and I know that it is not to hear the chair's remarks because I have sat in your seat for many, many, many years. You're not here to hear from the chair. You're here to figure out, where's Oz? When is he coming out? What's he going to be doing? But unfortunately, you have to listen to me first because it all happens, as you know, and quite unexpectedly. So thanks first for joining us tonight as we celebrate our city and region, and we honor all of your hard work, passion, and dedication to the community. I've got a couple thank yous that are really important. The first is to thank the Bushnell. We are in the most beautiful theater, I think, in the country, and we're so grateful for the fact that they hosted us again this year. Thanks to Max Catering. You might have gotten a little preview. You'll see the wonderful work they're doing for us tonight. And Arnold Berman and his Event Resources team for, again, putting together an exciting evening for us. Thank you. I also have a personal thank you to Mike Mateo. I don't know if he's in the audience and if he's here yet. If he's not, you can all tell him that I said this. He's an amazing man, and you don't want to be following him in any position, whether it's in business or as a community volunteer. Mike, thank you for your partnership, support, and everything that you've done for this organization, and we really, really appreciate your work. The next thank you, and we won't be listing them all, but it'll be behind me on the screen, is thanks to the directors and the board of directors and the committee chairs. You don't do this work without just an absolute large number of people who do great work, and they've provided tremendous direction and guidance at the Alliance, and really have allowed the Alliance to continue its work and to compete aggressively and successfully for jobs, capital, and talent. And please join me in thanking all of these individuals and their committees for their dedication and commitment to making the city and region an ideal place to do business. Tonight is about growth, and tonight is about development, and tonight is about evolution, and tonight we continue to build on our success. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to reflect on some of our major accomplishments in 2014 as an organization, as a city, and as a region. We're going to hear from some leaders about the importance of these accomplishments and the value they hold for each of us. We're going to highlight some of the themes that we heard from so many of you in our recent investor engagement survey, and then we're going to look ahead to our strategic planning over the next few years and the impact it's going to have on our community and the Alliance. You can see this evening is symbolic of the transformation we see each day in the city of Hartford and in the region. You started your journey, you were in our construction zone before you entered the theater, and your adventure continues now, and I think you will enjoy the renaissance that you're going to see upstairs after this program, so please make sure to join us. Thanks to your partnership and collaboration, the Alliance continues to live and breathe our mission every day, to compete aggressively and successfully for jobs, capital, and talent. 2014 was a very exciting year for our community, and it provided the building blocks for generations of economic success and vitality. And tonight, I'm honored to share with you some of the 2014 highlights and how they align directly with the strategic goals that we set actually 4 years ago, and we're going to continue to build on them today. Our first goal has been and continues to be to foster a climate for job creation and infrastructure investment. Bob, how are we doing in this area?
Well, Bonnie, I am going to wear the hat, and I am going to follow the script.
That's why you're Bob.
Through the Alliance's public policy agenda and forums on fiscal sustainability, we continue to create awareness around controlling state spending within the constitutional spending cap. We have also stayed true to our word on working with the mayor, city council, Capital Region Development Authority, and the Hartford delegation to ensure that our city remains a viable place to do business. We look forward to this continued partnership in the future to ensure Hartford remains a place where people want to live, work, play, and raise a family.
Thanks, Bob. We also worked in 2014 to retain, develop, recruit, and engage a diverse and talented pool of employees across our region. We are rich in talent, thanks to these efforts, with more and more people looking to remain a part of our workforce. And now we're going to hear from McKinley, who I understand is fresh off of a 5K on Sunday. McKinley.
So why would you go to New York or Boston when you can stay here in Hartford? HYPE, or Hartford Young Professionals and Entrepreneurs, continues to build networking, professional development, leadership, and civic engagement opportunities in Hartford and the entire region. The Alliance also works closely with Martin Estey and his team at the Hartford Consortium for Higher Education to promote our colleges and universities as economic engines and to keep our homegrown talent local after they graduate. I can honestly say from personal experience, Hartford has it.
Thanks, McKinley. The Alliance continues to promote the stability and expansion of specific industries while supporting small business growth, the backbone of our community. We look to become a true hub for small businesses and entrepreneurs. And now we're going to hear from one of our favorite small business owners, Gordon.
For the fourth consecutive year, Startup Weekend, Hartford attracted budding entrepreneurs who came together for a full weekend to turn their ideas for improving education into action. This program and others like HYPE and Entrepreneurial Awards continue to grow each year and are a vital resource to those with the entrepreneurial spirit.
Thank you, Gordon. So now our fourth strategic goal is to market the region's assets to attract and retain business, which is a major part of our work in 2014. Patrick?
From education to transportation to attracting overseas investors, the Alliance continues to market the region as an ideal place to live, work, and grow business. In addition, we tell our regional story through social media, media partnerships, and our Pulse of the Region radio show, proudly underscoring all that we have to offer our businesses and residents. The Alliance continues to serve as a strategic convener of investors to ensure our region remains competitive on a national and international level.
Thanks, Patrick. Our final strategic goal is to ensure that Hartford is the dynamic urban core of the region, and you cannot do this without strong partnerships. So here to talk about some of those partnerships, Suzanne, who I'm sure will wear her hat and stay on script.
You hope. MetroHartford Alliance has enjoyed working with a very successful coalition of the City of Hartford, Hartford Business Improvement District, Business for Downtown Hartford, and the Capital Region Development Authority in marketing and promoting the city, and most recently, through their efforts in bringing the AAC tournament to Hartford. The same coalition guaranteed a highly successful tournament at the XL Center the weekend before last. We look forward to the same coalition assisting CRDA with its plans to renew the XL Center into a Class A facility for our Class A Yukon athletic teams. Thank you.
Thanks, Suzanne. So we also have specific sectors that promote stability and expansion, and some of the largest insurance companies in the industry call Connecticut home. And I am really proud to say that I have worked in the insurance industry in Hartford for over 30 years. And we have the Connecticut Insurance and Financial Services Cluster that provides a disciplined system of corporate, educational, and government collaboration to support the dynamic and expanding industry of insurance. And here to talk about that is the outgoing chair of this group, Jim Bedard.
Bonnie, 2014 was a busy year for the IFS cluster. Programs such as the Get Higher Career Fair, Actuarial Boot Camp, and the annual insurance market forecast reinforced Hartford's role as the insurance capital of the world.
Thanks, Jim. And finally, our new group. The Connecticut Health Council's goal is to promote our state as a center of health excellence. Amy?
With 86 founding partners, we continue to grow. In 2014, the Council held 11 signature programs that each included a special networking dinner for our founding partners. Some of the topics that were covered this year included healthcare reform and hospital performance improvement, the evolving healthcare landscape, and an update on Connecticut Health Insurance Exchange. We are excited to continue the discussion in 2015.
Thanks, Amy. So as you heard, 2014 was quite a year. And as we head into 2015, you can only imagine what's about to happen next. I'm supposed to say a few words, but I'm absolutely speechless at the moment. And a little bit fearful for the staff of the Alliance on what they're going to do without their leader if this doesn't work out well. He also moved a little faster during rehearsal.
Hartford has it.
Hartford has it.
You want to come up here, Bonnie?
You know, I'm just going to watch you try to come down, Oz.
Well, this is how we're going to get upstairs, kid.
Yeah. I can also say that it's very clear that OSHA never did their inspection before our event. So ladies and gentlemen, the president and CEO of the MetroHartford Alliance, Oz Griebel.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
you know when you go on the Bushnell board,
Yes.
they ask you to do a lot of stuff. I was just checking the HVAC.
And
They said you're in charge of the boilers.
Well,
so you have to go downstairs afterwards.
I was just going to take the lights, that's all.
All right. So if we
So,
don't
sir.
stay to script, it says here, Bonnie,
Yes.
that it's an honor. If we can take away anything tonight, it's that we know how to maneuver a scissor lift across the stage. I'm not sure that it will ever come in handy again. Well, wait a minute. I know who wrote this, but I can tell you the journey on that machine was almost as exhilarating as our journey in 2014.
Well, it also said the words that it said the words that Oz will never hear again, which is, I could not agree with you more, Oz. Let him savor the moment. It's going to be a long few years.
It's already been a long quarter, Bonnie. Tonight is about development and evolution. Where's Darwin when I need him?
I know.
And you certainly made the case for that in your remarks. Many projects start with a vision. Look through survey transcripts.
I'm coming. Tell me where I'm supposed to stand.
Got it.
No, I was supposed to look too.
Oh, yes, that's right. You're supposed to look.
And
Look first
and
before
you
I
tell
finish.
me about the vision.
Oh,
All right, I'm
and
looking.
that's what makes the time in our city and
Got
region
it.
so exciting. Did you see the skyline?
I did see
and
the
did you see the
skyline.
landscape?
I saw the
And
landscape.
did you see the plenty cranes?
I did not see that.
You didn't see the cranes?
Oh, sorry, I saw the cranes.
The cranes, not the birds. The
All right.
cranes, the hallmark
I got
of
the
all.
cranes.
All right. So you said I could not agree with you more. Did you
I
go-
said that
Oh,
again, twice.
You did say that. All right. Now it says.
Move to the dirt.
Move to the dirt. Okay. It said, but you said dirt. Oh, you got to read this part. I could
Oh,
not-
I'm sorry. The pile of dirt can
Yeah.
symbolize such excitement in our city and region. That's where it all starts.
That's where it starts, Bonnie. as
And
you just
Oz,
said.
this is where you explain how many times you have shoveled dirt and all the groundbreakings
Amongst other
that
things
you've been.
I've shoveled, yes. I've got more pairs of shoes, and some of you have received some of it over the years, particularly up at the Capitol. But we should all be proud when we see infrastructure improvements, more retail and entertainment options, and foot traffic past 5 o'clock and on the weekends in the city. Why, I was at the American Athletic Conference men's basketball tournament. was? Oh, yes, I
Yes,
was.
I
And
was
it was
too.
a true showcase
I
of
was
everything
too.
we have to offer, not just inside the XL Center, but throughout the city and the region. I had a conversation with an out-of-town Tulsa fan who told me how pleasantly surprised he was with the environment and electricity in Hartford. I told him to come back for another visit beyond basketball, and he said it was worth the trip.
All right, so I'm going off script. You're supposed to show me
Oh,
how
I'm
to
supposed
shovel
to
the dirt.
Yeah, so you do this.
That's not
Are you
in the
gonna
script.
shovel?
You're going to show me.
Oh, you're going to shovel there.
Oh, wow.
How'd you like that?
That was really quite impressive.
If-
Is that all?
Are you
is
ready?
that
Are
all
you
how
ready?
you,
One,
how you
two,
fix-
three.
All
You
right,
gotta
ready?
flip it.
And you just go like this?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, wow.
All right. You're in life insurance.
And you get
That's
your
the
picture
problem.
in the current for
All right.
that.
All right. And you do get your picture in the car.
You do. But seriously, now it's my turn to tell you what I
Yes.
did.
Oh,
'Cause you
that's
said
right.
you were
have
at the basketball
I was.
tournament.
So you tell me what
I
you
was
did.
at the basketball tournament.
Right.
Do you know where else I was?
You were at UConn hockey games.
I went to UConn hockey games.
Right.
My understanding is you couldn't even get in for the first game.
Well, Andy Bissett wouldn't give me his ticket.
I
That's why I
understand.
couldn't get in.
I am a season ticket holder of the UConn
That's-
hockey team. I want you to know. And seriously, it is the most incredible vibe when you're out there and whether they're on the ice or when you're actually walking there. The city comes alive. St. Patrick's Day, I had my first Irish coffee at 9 o'clock in the morning. You people do this every year?
Every day.
Oh, well, okay.
Bonnie O'Malley.
And then Julie and McKinley and a crowd of
Jackie and
thousands,
Caitlin, exactly.
Jackie, Caitlin, everybody ran the 5K in probably the coldest weather that anybody's ran a 5K, and that was on Sunday. So we're hardy.
We're hardy.
And it's amazing stuff that's going on now.
All right. We're supposed to move to a ribbon cutting.
I'm going to ribbon.
All right. So it says in this ribbon cutting script, what does it say?
No, you said you were going to skip that and you were going to say nice things about me in Phoenix.
That's right, I did
Okay,
say that.
good.
So, off script, I want to say, Bonnie, on behalf of everyone at iQuilt and the city for all the work and leadership that you provided, you and Jim and the rest of the team, and redoing the Phoenix Plaza as a major part of iQuilt, and inspired Andy and the team over at Travelers to now do that on the plaza. Thank you for all of that. So imagine for a moment that we're back
That's
to last
great.
summer,
I am. This
And
is
you're
the
gonna-
last time I actually cut a ribbon.
and you can
Oh
cut
my
that
God.
ribbon.
Wait a minute. Oh, we didn't.
Yeah.
Are these left-handed
I
scissors?
understand a little bit behind that.
Oh my God, we didn't practice this.
Yes,
I apologize.
you are dangerous
All
with
right, you
those.
ready?
1, 2, 3. All right.
So I'm going to put these
Oh, wait.
down.
Did that give us, did we get
And
everything?
that's it. You go and talk.
I go and talk.
I go and listen, because you know that's a core competency. And I'll see you later.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Madam Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bonnie, thank you very much for your leadership and for playing Gracie Allen to my George Burns. I appreciate it. For those of you who are old enough to remember that. Thank you all for being here. I'll just echo a lot of what Bonnie said earlier. This event is one opportunity we get every year to thank those of you who are able to attend, and even those who are here in spirit, for the extraordinary support that you provide us during the course of the year, and many of you have been with us for the entire 14 or 15-year ride. So all of you who are leadership investors, our strategic partners, our regional investors, those of you who are municipal investors, and our Hartford investors, believe me, from all of us who work at the Alliance, you have our heartfelt appreciation, not only for your financial support, but as importantly, your ideas, your passion for this city and the region, your commitment to growing jobs and seeking capital and keeping young people here. It is a great partnership, and we're very, very appreciative. I want to acknowledge a few other organizations with which we work very closely, people that are on the same floor as we are at 31 Pratt. That's Business for Downtown Hartford, the Business Improvement District, the Hartford Consortium for Higher Education, and iQuilt. These are 4 organizations. Many of you fund directly or indirectly, all 5 of us. And we work hard, the leaders of all these organizations and all of us who work here, to make sure that all the money coming into these organizations, the 99% of it coming from the private sector, is leveraged to the benefit of the city and the region in a way that you're getting 2 + 2 to get 5. I want to salute everybody in these 4 organizations and ask you to recognize them with a warm round of applause. It's also an opportunity to showcase for a moment all the folks who work at the Alliance. You saw the names of the folks who work at the consortium and the bid. And these are the 27 people today who work every day to push this mission forward, to see that this region does indeed compete aggressively and successfully for jobs, for capital, and for talent. They're the individuals who interact with you to make sure that your particular needs are met and that where we can be helpful to you to grow your bottom line, we do that. These are the individuals who take positions on public policy, both at the state and local levels. They're the individuals who run our key programs like HYPE, the cluster, the Health Council, and indeed the Chamber Board that Gordon Scott currently chairs for us. All individuals that I can assure you are as committed to this mission as each of you are, and who bring extraordinary enthusiasm, and passion, and talent to the job every day. It is a privilege to work with them. It's a true pleasure to work with them. And I'd ask all of them who are here, I know the lights are dark, but if you, all of you who are on the team and from the four partners, if you could just stand up here and be recognized, please do stand up so people can recognize you. I greatly appreciate it. There is one, if I suggest you go to our website. I think Brian and Suzanne will have this in the daily brief tomorrow, but we have a 2014 year in review which provides you highlights of some of the things that were covered here tonight, but many more. And I hope you'll take the time to at least glance at it, because I think it'll give you a very good feeling and a positive feeling about what we're doing, what you're investing in terms of the scope of activities that were covered in 2014, that have built on the prior successes of the prior 13 years, and that provide such a strong foundation not only for this year, but as we go forward for the balance of this decade. So it'll be on our website at MetroHartford.com tomorrow. I want to give a special thanks to Oak Hill and for sponsoring our conference room. The first one, we've been at this for a while. I told Barry Simon if he did this in Oak Hill, he'd get a particular shout out today, since he's the only one who's accepted my tremendous sales effort to put his name on the conference room out in front. And Oak Hill, from those of you who don't know anything about it, is an organization that empowers people with disabilities. They do some of the greatest work in this region that you can imagine. And as I said, they're our first investor to put a name on one of the conference rooms. I saw just some suggestions for those who might be thinking about the boardroom. I saw David Polk and John Lundgren here. The First Tee conference room, David, just think about that. All board meetings in the First Tee. I knew it would get your attention somewhere along the line. But thank you to Barry and his team at Oak Hill for doing that, and we're ultimately going to get the sign up on the room, I hope, by the end of the month. I want to just take a minute and make sure that you're aware of what we're doing in what's a very challenging budget situation for all of us. And we did post on the website today a letter that we submitted to the governor and the legislature in response to the governor's request or solicitation back in his budget address back in February for constructive ideas that can improve the budget situation. And those of you who follow this, I don't need to tell you what challenges that we face, both on the revenue and the expenditure side. Some of the choices that we're facing are not palatable in either case. So our letter is intended to really suggest that as we take this budget, this biennium budget that will start July 1, and move forward, and that we take steps to change the foundation, the structural deficits that we have that Secretary Barnes has mentioned, and look at doing some things that may not bear fruit for 3 or 4 years, but we think are critical to laying the groundwork and demonstrating to the private sector that this is a state in which you want to invest. This is a state in which you want to retain the jobs that are here, and that you want to expand those jobs in the future. And we all know how challenging it is to be in the Northeast generally, and we know how challenging it is to be in a state with aging infrastructure. That excludes me, of course, but the rest of the infrastructure. And so there are several ideas that are listed up on that screen that are expanded upon in the letter that require further expansion. And the point I want to emphasize to you, that we emphasize to the governor and the legislature, is we understand in the private sector that we have a responsibility and an opportunity to work with the public sector, with our elected officials, to change the landscape, to change the budgetary landscape. And it is huge. It's a huge endeavor that really does require genuine public-private cooperation. We're hopeful that we'll get some response in terms of taking advantage of some of our ideas. and pursuing additional analysis. All of them do require additional analysis so that we can avoid the two very unfortunate situations we're looking at of either raising taxes or implementing a number of spending cuts. I give the governor a lot of credit for taking a very hard look at the budget, at least submitting a budget that is under the spending cap. But we know that as this process goes forward in the next 90 days, that there's going to be a lot of ebbing and flowing, and we, the private sector, with not just us, but CBIA and other chambers, need to be at that table. We welcome your suggestions, your thoughts, and we look for your support as we go forward, because on things like transportation funding, I don't think there's any question that we will not have increased funding for transportation, which we need in some way, shape, or form, without the private sector being solidly behind it. And our support, we've said consistently, has been contingent upon the adoption of a constitutional amendment that secures the revenues, that identifies the expenditures, and in our case, we're advocating for a transportation authority that would have meaningful power to both implement, oversee and implement that strategy along with DOT. So I commend your attention to that, and as I said, welcome your ideas and thoughts as we go forward. Just shifting gears very briefly to a big effort that we have underway this year, and that's our investor engagement and strategic planning process, setting the groundwork for the next 4 years. We've done a lot of work. Linda Campanella, we've hired as a facilitator on this. She's designed and we've circulated questionnaires to our chamber board, to the health council, the cluster, and to HYPE, as well as to all of our investors about the Alliance's overall performance and ideas that you have for the future. Generally speaking, the evaluations were positive regarding our current strategies and actions. There is definitely a strong sentiment echoing and reinforcing that our focus should be on doing everything we can to create a positive environment for economic and employment growth, and a particular emphasis on making sure that whatever else we do, we stay focused on retaining those private sector entities that are here today, that we focus on retaining the jobs that are here today. Yes, add, yes, expand, but don't say you to us. Take your eye off the ball of ensuring that we retain what we already have, under the old adage that your next best customer is your current one. Key dates coming up, we have a board meeting on Thursday in which we'll provide more detail along the lines that I just summarized. I hope you've all received the focus group dates. We're in the process of working with Linda to put 4 of those together, particularly for our strategic partners. But we'll be looking for opportunities to interact with our regional investors, our Hartford investors, and our municipal investors. We'll be using the second quarter meeting of our leadership investors to focus on this. We hope by the time we get to June 6th that we'll have greater feedback from all of you and refining and hearing more for you specifically on some of the themes that came back on the questionnaires. And then we're looking to hold about a 4-hour plenary session in September. Those of you who were with us 4 years ago know that that was a very successful event. It was critical to actually launching the Connecticut Health Council, and then by the time we get to December, to move that forward to formal approval. So now, not only to the highlight of the evening, but to the highlight of the year. And that, of course, is the Hartford Has It cheer. Now, I want to just say to McKinley, that when you say Hartford has it, you don't say Hartford has it, you say Hartford has it. That's what you're supposed to do. So the next time you get the mic, McKinley, that's what we'll do. So on this, those of you who've been here before, those of you who probably can do this with me. What's down the middle here? All right, I knew somebody was here. Thanks, Mom. So the Connecticut River is here. On this side, on the count of 3, you have Hartford. Over here, has it, 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, Hartford has it. Just relax. We're rehearsing. Hartford has it. All right. I like the excitement, though. The passion is good. All right. So that's good. 1, 2, 3. Hartford has it. Hartford has it. Hartford has it. All right. Not bad. Not bad. A little ambidextrous now. We're going to go the other way. Hartford has it. There's one in every group. Hartford has it. Ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Together. This is the only way I get a standing ovation, by the way. On the count of 3, all together in unison. That means together. 1, 2, 3. Hartford has it. Hartford has it. Hartford has it. Enjoy the evening. Thank you all very much.